There you go. My bad.
Wait, you turned off sound?
Is it off?
Yes, you turned off sound.
Totally off?
Yes. You might as well start giving a little promo on it.
All right. Well, guys, yeah. I'm getting
you can either figure out
is the project that I got going on. That was a horrible attempt at that. Sorry. My stinking sound was not set up properly. That was my bad. Sorry, guys. Welcome to Art Bros. This is how we sling it over here.
Jeez, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
So figure it out.
I got it.
While you do such a thing, let me just talk to people for one momento.
Does the sound work that time?
I see that the icon's ready, but one moment, guys. He's got it ready. Good to see everyone. NTM. Good to see you, Noah.
Awesome.
I didn't know Kenneth Rogafort backed NTM's book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome,
That's
dude.
An incredible thing. That's awesome. I just heard about that. Sherry's in the house.
Awesome.
Good to see you. Actually, I might have seen him in another chat net, maybe not ours. I don't think you've been in ours before. I could be wrong, but it's good to see you. Bud's here. And of course, Nefarious Global Frequency is here. All right. Back to you, Jeremy.
All right. Guys, this is my attempt at doing this already.
Don't you just want to do the second half there? That way.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good segue.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Beckoned is a 20-hour RPG following three young adventurers that are scurrying across the landscapes to find a stolen necklace or reclaim it, and as they do, they slide into political upheaval. Our Indiegogo only has no more days left. Our perks are entirely customizable with our add-on system. The featured pack is the t-shirt collection because it's got a lot of cool stuff, and if you add on some other cool stuff to that cool stuff, you got a cool stuff package. So as you continue going down through all the description of stuff, you've got the game description, but you can actually go and play the prototype on Steam now for free. Go into the discussions, let us know what you think, and if you like it, come right back to here. We can stick you in the game. We can give you a statue that I'm going to hand paint and number. We got original art as well, and description of the lore, the maps, the land that we're going to go in, the characters we're going to be playing as well as some of the towns that we're going to be journeying to, and the characters of Thevenot, which are set up in a particular order that if you read, you will start gathering a better handle for the world we are creating for you. Followed by our platform plan, the team, me and my older brother, and like I said, there's that Steam download, followed by a glossary at the end, in case some of these words you can't pronounce or wonder what the hell they mean. Anyway, guys, that's Beckoned, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. So there you go.
Yeah, I like how you say, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show, because that's my favorite part.
Yeah, because I was thinking about us. I mean, come on.
Dude, it's so, if you landed it, it would have been so professional. Instead,
I know. I'm sorry. And
that
kind of was the last one. No, that was the last time until I relaunch it again.
Right,
guys, it's not 35 hours left. It's what is it? I think it's 6 hours left right now.
Right.
Yeah. So at 3 a.m., it's gonna end. So
give a little retweet.
I'll be streaming at 3 a.m. So that's the idea. So I'll be up late.
We're all rooting for you, obviously. So anybody out there who's watching, please retweet. Please go back it and get some momentum going. It might create some sort of miracle, a wavelength within the population of Twitter.
And because it's not hitting as a video game, because I can read a room, guys. But it's been years. Come on, someone's got to change the feng shui. I'm actually going back in the timeline of Beckoned with this comic book I'm putting together, inspired by all of you guys, all you creators. I love seeing you guys getting your stories out, getting your art out. So how could I ignore that? So I'm jumping into the game with you guys. So you'll see me next with a comic book. If that goes great, maybe I'll go a second one. If that goes great, we'll throw out the game again, but we'll approach it a tad bit differently. So we have time to build on this fandom, guys. So
for sure, I'm sure that everyone will be supporting you as much as we always have, and more so. We'll be spreading the word.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
No problem, dude.
But we have a guest tonight.
We do. Yes. I did want to address one thing before we move forward. Shadowhawk does say he's been here a couple times recently, and I am a fool and a thief and stole him of that credit. And so I'm sorry. Here's Herrenberg. She's going to be here tomorrow, I believe.
Nice.
And no, not even I believe. Yes, she will, along with Lucifer Storm. It's a double header tomorrow. Lucifer Storm, the British man that with a crazy skeleton creature named Steve, I believe is his name. And good to see everyone here. So yes, as Jeremy said, we got a guest. Our guest is Marvin Wynn. He's got looking like a killer book that is going out in the days of crowdfunding. This guy is still doing the old tried and true methods of going through Diamond and getting out to your comic shops, which is cool. So it's like one of those books where you can go try to get all your shops that you can to carry it. And we'll be talking about all the rest of the stream. So welcome, Marvin. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Little flubby on our intros, but yeah, we're doing good.
Dude, I hope you don't think we're too, amateurish now. We did better than that. We can do better.
We can. We have done better. We have.
We're all amateurs in some ways, right? I mean, nobody knows anything.
That's how you guys know this is from the heart. This is the real stuff.
It's the real deal. It's not like when Ubisoft had Assassin's Creed on 3 and the game crashed. Come on.
Oh yeah, the third one, yeah. And then not the
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah. That's a new precedent for failure.
It happens. It's all good. I mean, that game does look good. It looks really good. I wish it had more hits because this is the first time I've seen it. So
yeah, well,
I just shared it, and I think it might be too late. But I mean, I would say that
it's on Steam.
It looks really awesome. It looks good.
The prototype's on Steam. Go play it now. You can try out where we're going.
I've got Evil Genius 2 loaded up, so that'll be my next game.
Nice.
Nice. I just heard, dude, have you seen Disco Elysium?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So that final cut just released today, and it's like the biggest update ever. So the whole game is an RPG that's text-based. So they voice acted the whole thing now. That's the update. The update is they voice acted thousands of lines. That's nuts. That's the biggest DLC ever. So I'm excited about that. I feel like I'm going to go check that out.
All right.
So yeah, I'm going to pull up a couple things. You want me to pull up your the PDF? Is that the best way to go?
Yeah, I think that's the best place to start.
Okay, let me pull that up.
So
is that the bit.ly link, and we're just showing that here? We don't want to wrench that.
You can send that out. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's free to the public. I mean, I'm not hiding it from anybody.
Okay.
Right.
Not to put you on spot, but yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So pulling up the PDF. All right. Pulled up the right PDF this time.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
So while you're doing that, I'll just give a basic rundown. So the basic rundown of the Edge is that it's a drug, that it's been distributed to the population and people are not aware of it, except for one character, Revenant. He is a former agent of the government who has decided to go rogue with those secrets. And it's going to be one of those cat and mouse situations where is he going to share it? Isn't he going to share it? He's the biggest jerk you could ever find in life. He's out for himself, doesn't care about anybody. So here we have his former handler, Tartable, ends up forming a team. I just called them the Strike Team to get after Revenant. So we're basically playing with a situation where we're not telling you who the good guy or the bad guy is. You make up your own mind as we go of who's on the right side and who's on the bad side. But there's a lot of gray areas. People are doing a lot of things you might not find are above board, but it could be for the right reasons. So the Edge, while giving powers, slowly drains you of life. So these characters are going to die at some point.
Interesting. So it's like there's a cost to it.
Yes, a big cost.
I dig that. That's there's a cyberpunk book called Gray Matter that's similar, but more like so with augmentation rather than so. Anyway, I don't want to throw you off, but yeah, that's a cool idea.
So as in the one thing that we always talk about with this book is it's about escalation. Things are escalating and escalating, and it just goes further and further, and it never stops.
So I see Revenant in the lettering here up the top.
Yes.
So is that a technique to show he's Revenant up? Is he like using it, or is that something else that I'm not?
No, we're just how we're introducing the characters. We're just throwing names up on them.
Oh, okay.
It's like a freeze frame. Here's the name of the character.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Without reading it like straightforward, I was wondering what that was. Okay.
Right. We played around with how do we make sure that everyone knows who these characters are. We just do it like a movie. Just freeze frame it and just throw the name up.
Cool. Awesome. And this is a preview that anybody can go read right now. Somebody has someone slaying that up on the website or on the chat yet?
Marvin's thrown the Wix website up there. Yes. Herrenberg.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to be a link slinging today. Jim.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention. My bad.
Dude, literally said.
I know. Where are we at? Instagram? Where are we at?
Just as a quick aside, Herrenberg is a friend of mine, and it's not a girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's only because I'm so used to Herrenberg being all about heroines. I knew that, and I'm too
that's cool.
Drained. You know what I mean? Let's see.
So
wrong one.
Our second issue will be appearing in May's previews for release in July. That was kind of a goof on my part where we went quarterly when we could have done bi-monthly. So after issue 2, we'll be going bi-monthly with issues 3 and 4.
Cool.
We are currently working on issue 14 and 2 other satellite books. So there's one book, it's called Adrenaline Rush, and then the second book is called Angel Wings. These books will take place between issues 4 and 5 and issues 9 and 10.
Nice.
So the the Adrenaline Rush book is pretty much going to be that someone has discovered a untainted vial of the Edge and is going to sell it on the black market. So that's going to bring out all the nefarious people to try to get a hold of it. But it's also going to trigger a few other contingencies to stop that. The Angel Wings storyline is about an army general who finds out that there may be some WMDs in Dubai. But the WMDs are not weapons; they're people. So
they're human bombs. Is what you're saying?
Yes and no. So they're humans that are in the last stages of the Edge. So their powers are uncontrollable, and it's just like they've got days to live.
Oh wow!
So he ends up calling up his former paratrooper rescue team to help out. And the difference with these guys is that they're all wounded soldiers with cybernetic implants. Cool. So they're under the control of the government, but they're going to try to break out of that so they can help him.
Dude, this is like a really intricate, but also very like just bombastic kind of story.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to the new people showing up.
Yep.
We got Collision Bomb. What's up? Hello. Art Jedi's finally in here. Good to see you, my friend. I saw you. And what?
Our gunslinger, a link slinger.
Link slinger, yes. He also had a feature with David Finch. I think he had a critique with David Finch recently. Which is crazy.
Awesome.
Which is really cool for the dude. He's under 18, I'm sure.
Are they asking about Indiegogo link for the Edge?
Down at the bottom.
Yes.
Or
Art Jedi was asking if there was an Indiegogo because he was trying to look for it. So
this is through Diamond.
Okay.
We are planning a crowdfunding for later in the year for the trade, but it's going to be a different trade than what's going into the store. So it's going to have extra pages we're starting up a Revenant solo story, and we're doing it 4 pages at a time. And we're just going to go into the mind of the madman. So this is going to be him talking to his knife, which he does a lot, acting loony, and not working well with others. So he's not a good coworker.
And he talks with his inanimate objects. Yes.
He calls his knife Mr. Idiom.
Ooh. What's the meaning behind that? Any kind of Easter eggy kind
of? Yes. So once he loses Mr. Idiom and he gets a new one, and once he calls it something the other name, you'll start to see a pattern.
Okay, I dig it. K Manifesto's here. This dude is always around, always the best, always helping out everyone in chat the best he can, sharing people's projects. glad you're here checking out the Edge. Let's continue on. I think we have several more pages to look at. Yeah. So I like asking, like, not necessarily more questions about the book, because it sounds like an awesome book. If what you've seen so far does not sell you, I don't know if anything will, because it's already looking awesome. My question is like, okay, so what's your history with comics? What's your favorite book, maybe?
So I started with comics in the 80s when you used to have spinner racks at the grocery stores, and my first comic was bought by my grandmother. Captain America was my first comic ever.
Oh, wow.
And after that, she noticed that I liked G.I. Joe, so she started buying me G.I. Joe comics. And then I discovered Spider-Man through the Spider-Man cartoon, and then moved on to Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and then I found X-Men. So the funny story about that is that when I first got X-Men, I was looking for the Firestar character. And it's like, there's no Firestar here. Why is she not in this book? She says she's in the X-Men on the show. And then you find out that it was originally supposed to be Human Torch, and they couldn't use him for the show. So they created a new character that looked like Mary Jane, but had Human Torch's powers. Somewhere. Yeah,
it's one of those like fudging of the lines a little bit.
Yes. So from there, I got into, Avengers, and throughout the 80s, I was just picking up comics in the grocery stores. I didn't know there were comic book stores until like the 90s. And then I got into, the X-Men when Jim Lee came on the board, and the X-Forces and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I just followed those guys to Image. And it was when they did Image that it was an eye-opening thing to me, that I didn't know there were you could do this without Marvel, DC, or whoever were the guys spending all this money on this book. I didn't think it was possible.
Right.
So I started writing in around 92, 93. And like I tell everybody, it wasn't good at all. It was too influenced by other things. Mm-hmm. So I kind of went, I'll say it, pencils down. And I took a few marketing and writing classes. And then I came back to it in the 2005 or so. And it wasn't until I met the artist Mark Louis in 2012 that it really took off. So awesome. Yeah, working with him, I mean, I don't think it would have done anything if it wasn't for Mark. I mean, I could give him the littlest description of something and he blows it up into something amazing.
Yeah, collaboration for comics is a big thing. It's not like everything else where, well, for me, I'm doing my whole book, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, by myself. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's a collaborative medium.
Yeah,
and it seems like you went down that route.
Yes.
So your book is self-published through Diamond, is that right? Or do you have your own?
We are published through Second Sight Publishing.
Second Sight.
Yes.
Nice.
They are a new publisher. Their first three books were The Edge, Lady Freedom, and Book Alaxia out in previews.
You say Book Alaxia?
March 24th. I'm sorry.
Book of Alaxia?
Yes.
Cool. I know that guy too, Aaron.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Cool guy.
So that March 24th was the launch day.
Awesome. That's incredible, man. I'm glad that because Diamond is going weird right now because Marvel's pulling out a little bit and going with Penguin, and so it's a weird time for comics in general. Everyone's trying to manage their own way,
right?
And we'll see what happens with Diamond. We don't. Maybe they because a lot of people pull back from Diamond for certain reasons. Right. Some people feel like they're not treating the customer as well as they'd like, but anyway,
I see this as an opportunity for them to grow and try to be more. I want to say more user friendly is the word I'll use in this kind of situation, because they've lost 65% of their business over the last 12 months. So they've got to do something to keep themselves alive and to reassure these retailers and the customers that we're not going anywhere and we're still going to be delivering products to your store. But I mean, if something goes haywire there, I created an entire list of almost every comic book store in the world, and when this book was in previews, I contacted multiple comic book stores. Like I contacted about 1,200 stores.
Wow.
To try to get the book in there. And my next goal is with issue 2 is to contact the rest of them. So I'm going to be contacting about 2,000 stores, letting them know that this book exists.
Right.
So I'm not leaving it up to that giant telephone book for somebody to find me, because the feedback was mostly, hey, I wouldn't even have noticed your book if you wouldn't have contacted me, because it's lost in the sea of everything.
And
So
the same thing goes for anybody in crowdfunding too. Like, you have to get out there and do it, even if you're doing whatever publishing. Yeah.
Right. So I'm that little boat in the middle of the ocean screaming, help me, help me. And I mean, a lot of them answered the call. So, I mean, we were close to 2,000 sold units.
That's awesome, dude. Just having that many and close to that many is a great number.
Right.
So I'm happy for that avenue actually working. Again, we've got new people in here. I got Jeremy's brothers up in the house. I don't think he's here. Dwight's here. We call him the Thevenot.
He calls himself the Thevenot.
I know.
Let's not get this mixed up.
It's a little weird. We got Comics Mate in the house. Good day, mate. And I'm glad you're here. I don't know if Comics Mate is a really, I don't know. He's got the vibe of what your book feels like. I feel like his artwork, which he's drawing, the Embrace, feels like this a little bit.
Yeah.
It's sharp, but it's also like kind of dark in some ways. I don't know how to put it. Without the colors, it probably seemed way darker than it is. But these colors are so vibrant that it makes it feel very, I don't know, approachable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, what we're all doing here is about having fun. We're trying to bring fun back to comics. We're not going to beat anybody over the head with my thought pattern, because what's in my head probably is not going to sell anything. I'm probably crazier than Revenant, so nobody wants to read about my emotional problems. So we're crafting a story where it's fun. We're going to challenge these characters. Later on in one of the issues, we're going to take one of the characters' powers away from them, and then we're going to dare them to get them back.
Oh, cool!
So we're going to put him in a situation where someone's going to make an offer and he's going to accept it, and it's not going to be good for him or anyone else.
And he's got to struggle without having powers. Is that the?
Yes. So I'll tell you that it's the Bolt character, and there's a scene where we do in issue 6 where he can't light a light bulb with his powers, and it's a situation. He has like a bunch of light bulbs around him, and he's smashing them against the wall as they're not powering up. And as he gets up to leave the room, he flips off the light, and that's just a sign of saying that it's over with what we were trying, and it's not working. So he has to go down a different path.
Interesting. So it's like, I feel like some shows do it that way too. If you ever watch like a show that has powers, it's like an interesting episode where they lose their powers, or take somebody's offer up to have that happen. But very interesting. So you got like these, would you call them like side arcs, side books that you're kind of, is that the plan to have like a...
Right. I call them gap books because it fills a gap into the story where there's a certain situations that we want to cover, but we don't want to slow the book down to do it. So we want to keep all the forward momentum going, but we don't want to like do a complete stop and say, okay, here's a side quest that went on, like in a video game where you got to go on this side quest to get this sword, and you get to the sword and it takes forever, and you're like, and it gives you like one new health point or something.
Right.
And you're like, was that worth my time?
I hate
that's when that called fetch quests.
Yes. But it's going to be a good fetch quest because it's going to tie back in. So we're going to tie it back in later into the story and say, oh, well, that was important to that. So, but we didn't want the momentum because it's pretty much going to be one character going off and doing something while the rest of the team is doing something else.
The best
side quest that way.
The best side quest stories are the ones that actually affect the character.
Yeah.
You know, and not like a little bit of his personality, or her personality, but also, you know, anything. If it's a game, it better be something that they get a new power or something. You know, something useful.
Right.
It's for me. That's what I like. But I'm glad you're doing like a big mix of things, because Jeremy and I are probably in the same boat. We like building worlds, and that's how you know you have like a world, because there's so many things you want to tell about the world. You know?
Right,
and then you can't because you got to cut all the fat off of it to make a product. So you're like, yeah.
Right, we're not going to drive anybody to a 4-hour movie to get to the end of the story. That's the same as the last story we told. So yeah.
Right,
we're having fun, and I want to make sure that everyone is having fun as we go along. I don't want it to drag. And if I would have kept that that story inside the main book, it would have been a drag. So we just split it out, and it's one of those things that if you don't, it's not necessary to. It's an add-on. I'll say it's not necessary that you have it, but I think you're going to like reading the add-ons.
You got to really, you're right. You got to trim the fat and put it as an add-on. Trim the fat off the main book. No filler around here. By the way, Jeremy, we didn't talk about this, but it is the 31st anniversary of TMNT 1990 today.
And I didn't wear my onesie tonight.
We didn't wear our onesies. We could have, and just didn't happen, you know. But you know, forgiveness is divine. But
nice. So, well, I wanted to kind of talk about nice little segue into what I want to talk about more about. Like I was saying before we went on the show, the color schemes for this. Guys, if you do pull up the link that we put up earlier, I think Joe has the proper link for that for this PDF. If you go through the entire comic book and look at the color palettes, you'll notice how not only are they bold, they're clean, they're representative in very subliminal ways, and it flows so nicely, using warm colors where they need to be, using the cold colors, all that's hitting. Look at those screens. Like that's not the blue I would have used, but that works perfect with the surrounding colors. You know, everything just works so well together. Me and Joe were talking about the anatomy, and there is mass, there's solidity to this kind of stoutish but strong core that a lot of these figures are showing. The architecture is excellent. You know, just the draftsmanship and getting all the perspectives. This is some good stuff.
Yeah, these environments aren't boring. You could easily have made. I mean, that's what you could tell. Like if a book's artist is a little bit needs a few more years in the oven, that the environments will be boring or the poses won't match up great. But you can tell, like this shot underneath the stairs.
Yeah, that's a cool shot.
That's a cool shot.
Right. What the character here, Interim, is doing, she's opening one of her portals, which allows her to see a few seconds into the future. So she was able to see this guy making his appearance. She can also use these portals they're like step portals, so she can use them to transport people to places. But the little glitch with that is that she's been opening these portals since she was 6 years old and hasn't been able to close all of them. So those portals are open on both sides. So if the door can open from one way and the other, so something could come through there. But not only that, it starts to affect the time stream. So where she's left those portals open, it starts to affect the time there. So where she's from, it's 24 hours ahead of the rest of the world.
Oh wow, dude, that's cool, man. That's some legit world building. And it ties to like the physics. That's very sci-fi in a way because you've analyzed it to a certain point where it affects everything.
Right. If you want, can you scroll back up again?
Up as in this way?
Yes.
Okay.
So you see on that table, there's a burnt symbol there on the front of the table there. I want to let people know to keep an eye out for those kind of things because they show up everywhere. So if you look at Mystic swords, there's a symbol on his sword. So keep an eye on those. They're very important to the story later on when we start to divide up what those things are.
That's the butterfly in the effect.
Maybe so, man. I did. I think is the colorist the same artist? Or did we talk about this?
The colorist is Luis Antonio Delgado. He usually does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for IDW and Ghostbusters.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like he could color Star Circuit, my book, and pull it off.
Luis is another thing that, I mean, he knows what he's doing, so I don't question him. Like he'll say, "Hey, do you mind if I do that?" I say, "Do whatever you want," and then you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Like he does know what he's doing. He's trying to compliment as much as he can, even if it means like, you know, you want your colors to like really pop, but he's doing it to whatever services the main image,
Mm-hmm.
so, which is cool. Keeps things subtle when they need to be. Yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm so glad you came on, because like us crowdfunders, we don't get out much these days. Kind of DC and Marvel is given, like, just in general, like a lot of their books are declining. So like when you go to the stores, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to want to check out this book. It's not like the 90s or early 2000s when you're like, dude, I can't wait till Blackest Night is out again, or, you know, whatever it is. Yeah. Really, really looking forward to these books. I don't think it's the same way anymore. If you go out there, I might pick up whatever, you know, whatever book I might see, I might grab, but it's not one where I'm like constantly thinking about it.
What's the do you remember when Kevin Smith was talking about the struggles with comic books? Like, that was probably just like a year and a half ago. I think he did an interview with someone talking about that.
I'm sure he's done many, but you'd probably have to give me a specific to remember.
He owns a comic book shop, I think, out where he's at, and he was talking ad nauseum of how just the whole industry on that side makes it harder for those stores to basically keep things in rotation and stay open. You know, that it has kind of changed quite a bit.
I think that we as customers need to drive into indie books hard. Because there's a lot of good stuff out there, and a lot of good stuff that's not making to the stores because not a lot of these books can get into Diamond, and a lot of these stores don't trust anything unless it's in Diamond. I mean, I've helped people get their books into stores, and they love it, and they're picking these books up. So we just need these store owners to be willing to work directly with people who aren't in Diamond, and Diamond needs to open up the gates and say that, come on in, because if you do the legwork and get that form filled out, which should be digital anyway, they should at least give you a book a serious offer and a chance now, because they've lost so much business now. They don't have a choice but to start embracing.
Yeah, they're not in the same spot.
No, embracing these alternate books, because they sell. These books move, and it's a testament to the quality that's being put out there now. Like, it's not like it was where back in the 90s when you had the floodgate open and all these books poured in, and they weren't really quality books.
For sure.
But, I mean, it's issue 1 and done. But I mean, like I said, that we're working on issue 14. We're up there, and it's not going to stop. I mean, as long as people are enjoying it, as long as we're having fun, it's going to keep going.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I would enjoy. Well, here's a good segue a little bit, not to pull away from your book, but I originally wanted to pitch my book Star Circuit to when I had an agent, and he was kind of working with me about, let's try to pitch it to try to get a publisher to maybe jump on board, maybe a small one, Scout or whoever, Antarctic, and we were going to go that route, and it just, because of COVID and just how my time frame was working, I didn't feel good about it. I was like, I didn't hear good things from Jim Zub about how much money you might make, or like sometimes you might even lose money. And I didn't like that prospect. So that's kind of why once I saw the communities that were in crowdfunding comics, it's almost like the way to pre-order these days. So just bring up my page real quick. My book is done fantastic, like way better than I ever thought it would. And out of the gate, this is my debut book. It's not like it's the 10th one in. So it somewhat is proving the model for some people. Some people look to it like, oh, this guy is a nobody. He puts out a book, and you can get people watching, because it's, as long as you bring the quality, you can do it.
Right. And this is where like retailers and Diamond should be looking and saying that, what's the next big thing? What is going to sell? And it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it sells. If someone is willing to go into a store and say, I want that, there should be no reason that store owner say, well, I'm not going to get it for you. Like, why? Why not? You want people to come into your store and buy stuff, right?
It makes no sense. Like, it's almost like, antithetical to what's going on. Well, since maybe you haven't seen this trailer, but this trailer sells the book in not like a story way, but it sells the vibe. This is a cyberpunk racing adventure is what I've got here. I'm the writer and artist and colorist. So I'm the one-man show on this one. I regret it kind of, because it's so much work. and now that you got a campaign on top of it, it's another thing, you know.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think that sometimes that's where people fall into the cracks is being a creator and a promoter. And it's not easy to do both. Like I have to take that hat off, put the other hat on, and Mark's been after me for like the last week. And I told him, I said that I'm getting back to creating, and how I have to reset my brain. So I have to stare at. There's this one spot on my wall that I use to reset my brain. I have to stare at it for 20 minutes before my brain resets back to creator mode.
Dude, that's a good idea, because I mean, obviously I have trouble with that. It's really tough, like especially if you're doing a lot of no speaking with people and then speaking with people. It's like this total flip.
Right.
But yeah, well, since you haven't seen it around, I usually don't play the trailer, but I'll play it this time.
Okay.
But I'll give a little sneak peek. It's 95% done, meaning it's just got to be lettered, which the letters are coming in right now as we speak. And we're doing solid stuff. There's
thank you, Eric.
Who's saying what?
Isn't Eric Weathers doing your letters?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought he was in chat. I was like, "What?" Eric?
No. I'm just throwing that out there.
Usually he's drawing right about now, or maybe a little later at night. All right, so let's check out the trailer, guys, and that way we can get the vibe.
Welcome to the future. A place where you can find anything you desire. If the burner gangs don't find you first. Where the fastest racers are artificial. And if you're human, you don't stand a chance. Star Circuit.
Still gets me jamming. And that's a testament. Awesome. That's a testament to Ted Zagaro's work as a killer editor and also musician. He did the music on that as well. So
that's awesome. Yeah, like I'm saying that I mean, and it's a testament to you and your work ethic that the book is almost done while it's still funding. I mean, I think that's very important, because I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I'm waiting on stuff 5 years now of stuff that I crowdfunded. So I mean,
dude, that's what the new model is and should be. You know, it needs to be at least 75% done, or 60 at least, before you're like thinking about it.
Right, but I mean, at the end of the day, it shouldn't take 5 years to do it.
Oh yeah, unless they're doing like some nuts omnibus, 3,000 page book. Is creating the Bible of comics.
Has that been done yet?
The Bible of comics, I'm sure it has somewhere.
There's been a few swipes at it. I think there are a few that did finish it. I mean,
like some Codex Gigas like comic book over here, like it's huge, giant. Yeah.
You have to. Although the shop can carry one copy of it.
The shipping.
Oh yeah. Well, before we hop off this thing, I wanted to present one new thing that's happening. We're approaching two different things. One being, if we hit 12,000, we're going to get biker patches for everybody for free. That's the stretch goal. So that would be cool. It kind of fits the motif.
I need a patch for my jacket, Joe.
Dude, back it twice. So that's a thing, but also several other little things. And one of the biggest ones being the 3D print of the bike is in the works. And we have many different little ideas. And one of the big ones is something that you're probably not seeing coming, something that I don't know. I can't bring anything else, but know that a 3D print version is going to boost this thing out of the gate at the finish line. There we go. That's a racing term. So
you got there with it, though. You got there with it.
I did. It's been a long day, dude. So we're gonna head back to your another page. Do you want me to go to your website or Instagram?
I think there was one more page in the PDF, and I think it's been everybody's favorite page in the PDF.
Oh, cool.
Page, so and then we can jump over to the streaming.
Very good. Let me find your actual page now that I lost it. What's going on? I guess I accidentally closed it. It should be in my copy paste already, though. But yeah, it's been so far, dude. Like everything I've seen is worthy of the praise that we give. If we're gonna retweet something, we're gonna you damn better believe we're gonna believe in it. So
you've got Herrenberg in the chat there, beating you out, Jeremy, on slinging the links there. But he's from Pittsburgh also, and we have and that Adrenaline Rush story I was talking about. Some of his characters are going to cross over into the book there. So
awesome.
he'll tell you about that tomorrow when
dude, I can't wait. I'm glad it's back to back too. Now that I knew you guys were acquaintances, I didn't know how big of friends you were or not.
Yeah. I do second camera on the show, and I'm a character on the show also.
Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. All right,
River Bend the Bear just backed Star Circuit.
Oh, you're right.
Thank you.
Really, River Bend Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, River Bend Bear. You're making my day. I was really in a downer. I thought I was gonna just,
How many bottles of wine are you on now?
Dude, I'm on 2 boxes.
Oh dang! Get that box wine.
Box wine.
Where are you in a trailer park? What's going on?
Look, man, I'm saving up for a house. Got a lot of things going.
It's all good. Box wine. Let's do
box wine, dude. So this is an awesome page. Now that you know what the hell she does.
Yes.
Without that context,
Yep.
So this is great. Can you describe it?
Sure. So in this situation, she decides that this guy, Joshua, who is a terrorist with an organization called God's Thunder, that's GODS and then apostrophe. So he's going to shoot this woman. She's in there. I'm stopping it. So she walks into the room, Thenacks him, because Thenacking is very cool, and starts opening portals. So not only is she opening portals, she's actually she's actually jumping ahead of what these guys are going to do and throwing fists, her feet, her wrists, and her knees through the portals. And I think my favorite part of that page is how the action is knocking the panels around.
Ooh, yeah, that is cool.
Can I get really geeky with you?
Sure.
With a question.
Don't get super geeky.
Are these Einstein or the Rosenbridges type portals, or are these
You have to explain that to me, dude.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. We were getting into the geeky stuff earlier. I was just wondering.
I think it's more. It's a little bit of both, because if you remember before, I said that the door opens on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that portal was connected to somewhere else in the universe.
Yep. Okay.
So if you remember in X-Men when Nightcrawler would teleport, he would go to limbo first. And then go to where he's going. So there's a little bit of that happening where the portal's there and someone is just sitting there like, what in the world is this? And eventually that person is going to go, I wonder if I can walk through.
Yeah.
He actually crosses over.
Nice.
Dude, this is a cool page. I dig just how it's done. I think it's the best you probably can do.
D knows what I'm talking about up in here.
What is D saying over here?
Einstein Rosenbridge, baby.
Yeah, dude, he's all about it. He just chugged a beer after saying that.
So like Herrenberg said, it's a gating expanse, like a wormhole. So I mean, you can think of it as a wormhole.
Okay. Cool.
But she doesn't know that, so which means that when she was opening those when she was 6 years old, and she just starts doing this because she can, and then didn't close them because we're going to have to deal with that eventually.
Right.
Things that she doesn't close.
Right, because things are coming back.
Yeah. She just can't walk away and leave her toys around. You can't leave your Legos on the ground because somebody's going to step on them.
Absolutely, dude. So cool that that you've gotten through so much thought over it. It's obviously what you need to do to make a book seem believable.
I love it.
Yeah, awesome. Can't say.
And then, like I said, when I was saying before, is that when I first started writing this, when I didn't say it was good, I wasn't doing any of that. I had no forward thinking. It was all in that moment and trying to emulate what I was reading.
Yeah, it's like a different thing to like actually take it one more layer below and like figure it out. It's like instead of you like copying somebody's art, it's you breaking it down to like, oh, why are they doing this? And
that's actually part of the adventure. Like for me, like, you know, like if I'm writing a story, I'm having to figure out stuff like that. It's like I'm on the journey creating it. Like, I don't know. Sorry, just kind of like
I might be too much of a background nerd, but my favorite panel is your first one. I think it's just like something about it is very Metal Gear Solid to me, the original.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just setting the mood in that, and what we were trying to get on Life on the Page is to make somebody feel cold. I wanted this to make somebody look at it and like, holy crap, it just got cold in this room for some reason. Why is it cold?
Yeah, and I love the snow, so I'm digging what you did.
Right, and then we go into the situation where things aren't the weather is causing things not to work, and Yep. I would say G.I. Joe. Like G.I. Joe was influence on this too. Like we ran the gamut on influences from a lot of stuff and just trying to meld it into something that's fun and livable. It's like it's a lived in world.
Dude,
I was thinking the level in GoldenEye 64.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's triggering for everybody.
I'm much more Metal Gear Solid, but dude, this panel right here, this one on the left with the pink glare on the glasses, dude, I want to live in this world, even though he's about to die. I want to be him. You know what I mean?
I mean, and there's a lot of that in here. We do a lot of messed up stuff to the non-powered people in this book. Nice. There's a scene later on where there's these two guys that are driving this transport, and one of our characters we call him Rahab. So all of the villain characters are under a guy called Chaos, and they're all named after fallen angels. So we've got Celios, Rahab, Varal, and Azazel. Yeah, so there's a scene. This guy, he's just this big, like 9 foot tall hulking mass of metal. And the guys are driving down the road. He just walks into the middle of the road and just stops the truck dead in its tracks. And you see the guys go flying out the windshield.
Jeez. Damn, dude. Like, even just describing that is like comic books. That's what comic books are.
Yeah. Fun. It's that energy and that fun we're having with it. And like I said, it's for everyone. We want everyone to read this book and have a good time.
Does this, I'm sorry to interrupt. Does this mean you backed my book, The Thevenot? You trying to become the art bro? Do you want to replace Jeremy as the art bro?
Why is it replacement? What's happening here?
Because he might have backed more than you backed, bro. No, I do see that someone else has backed is put us so much closer to getting patches. He is right. That is the number we're at now. I appreciate it, everybody. Dude, do you understand if you had a crowdfund, Marvin, that we'd have 5 backers on you right now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You just made $200 right now if you had one.
Yeah, it's coming. But I mean, we want to do it special. We want to do something special for the fans that helped us to this point, and we want to give them something. Yeah, we want to give them something they're going to really like, and we want to make it special and say that you're not going to get this in stores. It's only going to be in this crowdfunding that you're going to get those extra 4 pages of Revenant being Revenant.
Well, I'm glad it's gonna, whatever you do. And my last question would be, well, not last, but one of the questions would be like, what's pulling you away from not doing the crowdfund route? Maybe entirely. Do you think it would be you just want to have it in stores rather than online? Is that how?
Well, I mean, from the start, my whole entire dream was to see the book on the shelves. And it being there, not because I took it to the store and asked them, hey, would you guys be interested in having this book in the store? Because they ordered it themselves. They went through the trouble of saying that, yeah, we want this book and we want to sell it. And that was always what I wanted when I started doing comics was get in Diamond, get it in the stores, and not in stores because I did the work because someone else said, yes, I want this.
That's a specific dream. I'm not going to fault you there because I do have that inkling. Of that,
yeah, but and we recognize that the crowdfunding is a big thing, but I mean we need to support our local shops too, and if I want and like that pre-order is very important to us because it tells us not only that people are liking the book, but it tells those stores that they need to get more on the shelves. Like they need to order hundreds of books, they need to order hundreds of The Edge instead of hundreds of Captain Marvel.
Right. And I'm glad, dude. I really like I said, I'm disappointed in what the big two have done. Some of the smaller ones, IDW are still rocking it. Dark Horse still rocking it. But I really like some of the other labels too. And now that I know about yours, it'll be on the list. So I'll be trying to get it in the stores I know about.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, as a crowdfunder, I'm trying to get the stores to also kind of jump on board the retail perk or whatever,
Right. So I'll pitch that out to the few of the stores that I talked to, because we've gotten into their heads now with this. So there's like 40, 50 stores that I'm in constant contact with stuff.
Mm-hmm. I do have as I was thinking, you said that, and I was like, do you have a cover that we can put up? I feel like there was no cover.
Sure. If you go to the drive link, there's a lot more stuff in there. I think there's covers in there.
Okay, let me go to that, because I think that'd be a perfect image to end on as we talk.
Yeah, I'm looking through.
Do you want let's see here.
Or I could.
Dude, there's some cool shots in
For sure. Don't distract me, Jeremy.
Sorry.
I think I see it. Anybody by chance? I see color alt cover. No, what we want here. I see Edge 2 alt cover. What am I looking for?
A cover that you want people's eyeballs to melt and go, we want this book.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find it.
Actually, if you give me a couple seconds, I'll give you something that'll.
Absolutely, yeah, we can install it for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me just read through the chat real quick and see what everyone's talking about. Maybe Jeremy wants to comment on any of this. I know you're working hard.
What was that?
No, I'm sure you're working hard. I'm saying the Thevenot over here. There's two Tevenots here.
Oh,
so
see how this happened?
Yeah, this is the problem. You guys have to differentiate yourselves from the brothers. You can't be.
Herrenberg has got the Azazel backstory straight up there, and yeah.
Yes, and that's what Herrenberg does. That's why I gave him a wrench. Sorry, it just happens. I hear heroin, and I want to say her. It's not my fault. Okay, so,
yes,
but yeah, that's his technique of.
We're gonna have Azazel tomorrow night.
Yes, we shall.
Yes.
We're gonna have Azazel.
Osmodius.
We got Lucifer in the house.
He's got all kinds of names. Remember?
So I'm going to send you. I found it faster on Facebook, so I'm going to send you a link to the Facebook page.
Yeah, just put in that private chat. We'll be good. Yeah, I'm stoked for all books that are like, as long as you look good. I don't care if you're in Diamond. I don't care if you're crowdfunding. I don't care if you're just doing local shops. If I see it, I'm going to buy it. And I think that's where I don't think anybody should put up walls. Like,
no. I mean, it's wide open. If someone sees a book selling, doesn't matter where it comes from, you should be like, I want that in my store. I want that in my catalog. Whatever it is that.
Absolutely.
Like there's any excuse for someone. I walk into a store and I say, hey, you have Joe's. I saw this on Indiegogo and it just ended. Can you order it?
Right.
Like, no, get it.
What's wrong with you, dude?
You're like losing a sale. Why would you want to turn away a customer?
I would bet there's like the upmark or the markup price or something like that. I mean, I don't know what it would be, but there's got to be something to that. Like,
for sure.
Be able to work around it.
Yeah, if they reach out and they say, "Hey, would you be willing to give me a discount on the book?" Then you say, "Whatever." Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So check this out over here. This is this a wraparound cover? Or is this just like a spread for?
It's a 3-part cover. So I actually have copies of that that I have myself that I autograph for free. It's a 3-part connecting cover. So lay them down, and you've got all 3 covers.
Nice. So is it all of the first issue, or
yes? This is all issue 1.
Cool, dude.
So go ahead.
Sells it so well because I mean, like I can tell the artist put the extra time on this one. Like, look at this, dude. See this dude's face getting ripped off up here? It's nuts.
Well, not the one there, the next guy, and then the other guy.
Sorry, dude, but just the way it like wraps around is he's thought about how a beam might rip your face off. I dig it.
Right. So this is showing Revenant's power, where he's able to replicate himself from a single drop of blood.
Ooh. So how many of him is in this image is the question.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a quick count. So it can grow exponentially the more blood is spilled.
So the more he gets injured, the more he dominates.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy.
So this is how you create a one-man army. And this is why he was given the edge to do this.
Yeah, this is nuts. I just it's hard to deny what this like spread does for me. Dude, everyone, I would say if you have a local shop that you see on the regular, give them a call or show up there and say, guys, have you heard of the Edge before? Because
and it's funny, when I did talk to the stores, they were like, "Hey, we already ordered that, man. We got
that's
you."
awesome. I hope that's the the response. I really do.
So also, Second Sight is updating their website now. So I'm thinking over the summer they're going to be selling exclusive books on their store also. So we'll have issues with exclusive covers that won't be available through Diamond or through stores.
Dude, awesome. This is like, it seems like you're on the right path to get your goals met of actual, stores and people like looking out for the book on their own without a lot of promotion. Like one of my goals in art is just exactly that. Like the art speaks for itself, let it speak for itself. I think your book speaks for itself.
Thank you.
I don't think there's going to be any trouble this thing taking off even faster than it has already. I'm glad you came on. And let's do a little bit of do you have any last questions? I know it took over the questions, Jeremy. Usually speak more than here.
No, I mean, I thought everything looks great. I mean, the concept is cool. I kind of popped in where I wanted to here and there, love the ideas. I mean, absolute, like, the line quality. I mean, I'm just kind of the artist guy, really. I mean, I love the line quality, love the framing, love the colors. I mean, yeah, just all around good quality.
Heck yeah. And more than that, like, it's different to like the art and then whatever, we'll see what the book is like, but the story seems intriguing, the concept seems intriguing. And beyond that, if people watch this interview, they'll see that you've thought these things through. Like you said, maybe originally you were, like you said, not thinking things through necessarily, but as you grew as a writer and as a creator, you've brought all this to the table. I think it's going to really pan out for you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of just building on yourself and trusting yourself and saying that this is where I want to go with this, and I'm not going to let anything like derail me. And I tell people all the time, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up.
It's Rocky, right?
Yeah,
I believe that's Rocky. The Italian Stallion, everybody, saying it like it is. And also, I've got a question. Maybe this is one we should ask people. Do you have since you brought up games before, do you have a favorite game as you're here? Is that
my favorite game series is Uncharted.
Oh, nice.
Because you know why? And only because Drake is not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was always the one thing that drove me crazy, and I'm glad they fixed it in Tomb Raider. Was every jump you took, everything you did was perfect in that game. And Uncharted, you can even when it's not a cutscene or anything, you can see him stumble, trip, fall down at times. Like he's not a perfect person, and that's what I love about those games. And it's so cinematic, and I'm looking forward to the movie, but I'm a little apprehensive about it. But it's Tom Holland is in it, and you're like, he's good as Spider-Man. So I mean, come on, can they finally do a good movie based on a video game that's not Silent Hill?
Yeah, we'll see. It's a tough deal.
I almost think if they kind of filmed the movie for Uncharted, more like kind of how they did what's this one Nobody, this new movie Nobody.
Yes, I've heard
like,
it. Yes.
We're like Taken. I think you can get away with a good guy that's slaughtering people. Because how many guys
he does kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, that is one thing he does. He takes out armies on the way to his thing.
And the testament to the messiness of Drake is when his shirt is half tucked, and you're like, yeah, that guy is goofy. So let's get into this. He's got his shirt half tucked for unknown reasons.
I dig it. I'm glad. Great answer. I feel like, especially Uncharted 2 is probably one of the best games ever.
Yeah, that train sequence is amazing.
Yeah, I'd say anybody who's just like, well, I'm not sure about playing games, try that game. You might like it.
I mean, it's one of those things where all 4 of the games, and even the sad game is good.
the chicks.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't play that one, but I can say it probably is good.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, it's like what, $10 or something now. It's worth it. It's so fun to do that. Like, once again, a side quest that isn't part of the main story, but fills in some gaps along the way. Yeah,
for sure. And I'm glad that, like, games are storytellers, comics obviously storytellers, but that's, it's something that people miss. Like, pay attention and you'll find stories everywhere.
Yeah.
More
something for everybody. Like, it's the golden age of media and entertainment, and there's something for everybody out there. And just get out there and enjoy it. Like, don't drag something else down because you don't like it. Raise up something that you do like, because that's the fun part about it. Like, get with people who enjoy things you enjoy.
Yeah, do what we're doing here. Like, even if you have a small channel, promote people you like, talk about people you like, even if they're small, even if you're small, big or small, just talk about it. Spread the word.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say on that one, Jeremy?
No, just kind of a little thought back to high school. Well, me and Joe went to the same high school, but the art teacher back then told me that, in her opinion, architecture was the greatest form of art because it completely surrounds you. You can step into it. She had been to, like, Notre Dame Cathedral and all these beautiful places of architecture. And I said, "You've never played a video game." It's not just artwork and animation, storytelling and code and all that. So that's why I started trying to build my world in a video game, because I want my audience to get lost in it. Literally, that whole, like, what do I do next? And start searching around all this detailed artwork that I put through and just get lost and immersed in it. And now, I'm actually seeing there's a nice effect that comic books are getting with that too. Like, you're able to kind of, if you can get them interested and get them opening that book, then that, So
it's part of the comics thing does a little interesting, like, each thing has its own twist. And I've got 2 examples, but comics use the left and right brain, and that's what kind of makes it work. Because, like, you start paying attention to the words, and then the subtext of the imagery, like, meld in your brain, and you're filling in the gaps that you don't even think about. Like, looking at the guy about to get strangled, you're imagining him getting strangled without you thinking about it. Like, oh, I can see that happening.
Right.
The point is, that is one thing comics do, but with, like, games, there's a game called Abzu that I tried out last night. It's like a diver that goes and swims, and I was wondering, how are they directing me where to go, because it's an ocean and there's no path.
Level design, subliminal.
No, dude, it's not, dude. Check this out.
What?
They would have the camera somewhat autofocus on things you need to go to subtly, without, like, you knowing about it. You're like, holy. This whole time they're directing me where to go without me thinking about it.
Yeah,
like on places you didn't want to go, the camera would have more resistance. You know what I mean?
And
nice.
And that's an indie game too.
Yeah, it's an indie game, and it's actually free right now if you want to go play it.
Yep.
Hey, there's a free game on Steam right now. The prototype of Beckoned. You guys go try that out.
When I'm downloading Evil Genius 2, I'll click on it and download that also.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really good. I want to check it out, and hopefully that you bring it back, because I want to kick in on that.
For sure, me as well. We're all rooting for you, Jeremy. But we've come to the end of the show. We've come actually over the time. There's homework here, guys. You don't just come to Art Bros and think you're going to get away scot-free. The homework tonight is, 1, you need to think about all the things that we've talked about the Edge, and the next time you go to your shop, or maybe you just want to do a cold call, but next time you're in your shop, just nonchalantly ask about the Edge. That's something you can do to help out, since there's not, like, an active page that we're used to sending people to. Secondly, then you can end it, Jeremy, with anything you have. Star Circuit, we obviously just hit up because of 2 fantastic people in the chat. We got 11,500 or so. And those patches are going to be coming our way. The Thevenot has spoken. So that's it for me, and that's it for Star Circuit. Anything for you, Jeremy?
Yeah, guys, at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live to basically go on. I'm going to be doing what I've done, my normal daily comic books. I didn't do any today. I've been waiting for 3 a.m. So I'm going to jump on hopefully 30 minutes before the campaign ends. After it ends, I'll continue to talk about what our plan is moving forward. A lot of you guys kind of already know, I've been open about it, but there's a little bit of surprise that I've got for everybody. So yeah.
Awesome. We got a surprise Don Chin visit.
It's
Don Chin, dude. So I'm sure you know Don Chin, but Don Chin, if you don't know The Edge and Marvin, go check this out.
Don is aware.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm good. He knows all. It's the Don. It's the Don of Dons, and I'm glad he showed up at the end. Though, watch the replay, Don. It's been a good episode. Marvin, where can we find you? I know we put it in the chat once or twice, but we'll put it there again.
We are at The Edge Comic on Facebook and Instagram. On Twitter, I am at Marvin Wynn because somebody is sitting on that Edge comic handle, and they've never posted, and it's not cool, and I want it.
Oh my god! So there, I put up the link for Twitter because it's the only one that's not The Edge.
I'm always ready to talk about comics and The Edge. So shoot me a message if you want to talk. I don't turn anybody away.
Absolutely, that's incredible. And anytime you want to come back on, just give me a shout, and we'll schedule you in. You've got some new promotion for one of the Gap books that you're talking about.
Cool, thank you.
That's it for us guys. Let me play I have this mixtape that goes along with my book.
It slams.
Huh?
It slams.
And it slams, yes. But it's just a good outro because it's music, and we can cover up some of our crappy production. But yeah, helps everyone here. So I'm gonna play this, and have a good night, everyone.
Night.